Okay, guys. Sorry, I haven't been covering the royal birth lately. I've actually been packing. I'm moving house, so you can see here I'm doing a bit of packing, and but there's been a lot of rumours going around and a lot of junk, and I didn't really want to report on anything and then have to retract it later. I think I did a story last week, been about a week, bit more, where about the ambulance outside. It was outside Frogmore Cottage, but when I looked on Google Maps, you could see that it was actually outside Windsor Castle, which is quite away from Frogmore Cottage. So that was another false alarm. Then they had more false alarms with uh, a car going through with like pink blankets and everything, and apparently that was just the Queen. That was the Queen's car, and it's just. And then the usual that the baby's already been born and they're not telling us and that sort of thing. So we've got some news now that I think is pretty accurate. They're talking about they might have to induce the birth because Megan's actually overdue. So let's have a look at the footage we're getting here in Australia.
Now, we don't know if you've heard, maybe you haven't, there's a royal baby due any day now. And there are reports this morning Meghan is so overdue, authorities may have to intervene. Yes, we're talking Oprah. Who's stepping in?
Authorities.
Authorities.
Or maybe medical teams, doctors
medical
even.
teams.
Sunrise presenter Edwina Bartholomew is in Windsor. Eddie, we are still waiting.
Well, Larry and Carly, good morning to you. Who would have thunk it? Still here, waiting on the same street corner and still waiting for news of this impending arrival of baby Sussex. It's really getting to the pointy end. Reportedly, Meghan was due to give birth last Saturday, meaning she's now about a week overdue on her due date. And under NHS regulation or health regulations here in the UK, a mother-to-be will be induced after 7 to 10 days. So that may...
Actually, I looked that up. I'll show you in a minute. I looked that up. Actually, I might show you now. And I don't think there's any regulations that say that Meghan has to be induced. So I was just looking under NHS pregnancy and baby guide from the NHS, and I couldn't see anything about being forced to induce labour. I did see that there are risks when you go past 42 weeks. And I've done a little calculator here because her first trimester was apparently on October 15th last year. And from October 15th to today, we're looking at 29 weeks and 1 day. They add 12 weeks, so you're getting 41 weeks in 1 day. So it's getting to the sort of dangerous stage now that you might have sort of all sorts of issues. They're saying that there's quite a big high risk of stillbirth and that sort of thing. So I know the commentators are sort of joking a bit here, but it's getting pretty serious, and I'm getting a bit worried myself. So hopefully, fingers crossed that she gives birth in the next couple of days, because you can get some real issues once she hits around 42 weeks. Although some people have been saying that the first baby usually does take a while longer. So anyway, let's get back to the footage. I'll just put this over here and get the window up. There we go.
Mean that Meghan's plans of a home birth, just surrounded by close friends and her mother Doria and of course her medical team, may have to be put to rest, and she may actually have to be taken to hospital. The closest hospital here to Windsor is Frimley Park Hospital. It's about a half-hour drive away. We've heard reportedly that there are plans also to transport her by helicopter if needs be. That hospital is a public hospital. It is where Sophie of Wessex gave birth to her 2 children. Not as fancy as the Lindo wing, where the Duchess of Cambridge gave birth to her 3 children, but we are told that she will still be given the royal treatment there. As for Harry, over the weekend, a bit of a change of plans with that trip. We were planning for him to go to the Netherlands for 2 days this week, so he's going to Amsterdam on Wednesday and then The Hague on Thursday for the launch of the Invictus Games Countdown 2020. Of course, that's a cause very close to his heart. It's an initiative he set up for return service men and women back in 2014. The Toronto Games were the very first time that we actually saw Meghan and Harry out together in public as a couple, confirming their relationship. And then the Sydney Games last year, just after they made that baby announcement after arriving in Australia. So he very much wants to attend that launch. That's Thursday in The Hague. He will do anything to make it, but Buckingham Palace are not ruling out the fact that the whole trip might be cancelled if the baby takes longer to get here. That's great news for Clarence House, the house that takes care of Prince Charles and Camilla, because they had planned a trip to Germany starting on Tuesday, and it's a big deal for Prince Charles. He's due to give a big speech, meet with the Chancellor Angela Merkel as well, and they were a bit worried that the Harry's trip would detract from Prince Charles's efforts there. A bit of a Brexit negotiation charm offensive there in Germany. Here in Windsor, we wait. The media descended, and more media over the weekend. We had American morning show host Gayle King arrive and then depart. We do believe that she did drop in on the royal couple, visited them at Frogmore Cottage, so we'll have to wait and see what she has to say about that visit. But other than that, we still wait for word here in Windsor on when this baby will join us.
Thank you very much, Eddie. I'm over it. I've peaked.
You've been over it before
Excuse me.
it was even announced.
5 times I've peaked. I'm done. Call me
Okay,
when
we'll
it's
just
done.
have to sit back now and just wait. It won't be long now.
All right.
It has to happen in like the next 3 days, right?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm over it. I'm sort of I'm a bit over it, but I'm also quite concerned. As I said before, it's you're getting to the stage where you can have some issues, and I know there was a lot of talk about Meghan's geriatric birth, but that it is the case. You can't sort of go against Mother Nature. I know this may be controversial, but women should be having kids in their 20s. Really, once you hit like mid-30s, late 30s, you run into a lot of issues. So here we go. We just need to wait. What else? I actually looked at another article too. So I was just looking for the guidelines, and I couldn't see anything. They were talking about 7 to 10 days overdue that they actually are forced to induce, but I couldn't see anything. I'll leave the links here, see if you can find anything. I'm sort of quite busy at the moment. It's a bit of a race against whether I'm going to have to leave this house before the baby's due. I've got a settlement on the 17th of May, and so it's going to be quite a busy boy, packing and also trying to cover the royal birth as well. But yeah, I just can't see anything here where they're talking about inducing labour at all. What was the contents? Recommend methods for induction. Yeah, I was just looking for the days and I couldn't see anything. They just sort of recommended at week 42, and she's heading towards week 42 now. So it says women should be informed that most women go into labour spontaneously by 42 weeks at 38 week, and antenatal visit. All women should be offered information about risks associated with pregnancies that last longer than 42 weeks and their options. Got all sorts of medical things here. So it's not good, is it? Women with uncomplicated pregnancy should usually be offered induction of labour between 41 and 42 weeks to avoid the risks of prolonged pregnancies. Yeah. And I must admit, I'm no expert on pregnancies. I don't have kids at all, so never been married and no kids. So probably not the best person to be talking about this, but I am informing myself. I'm reading up on this sort of thing, so I can be better informed to tell you guys what I think. I just keep seeing it. 42 weeks is like, starts getting dangerous. So Hopefully little baby Sussex is just a little bit stubborn. Still all nice and cozy in there, doesn't want to come out. And everyone's saying it's a girl. I'm not too sure. Everyone's saying it's a girl. I think, what did I say? Did I say it was a girl? Can't remember now. I'm going to say it's a boy now. I'm going to say it's a boy, and it's going to be named Arthur. And so I predicted the 5th of the 5th, and it looks like it's pretty much gone now. And so what's my next guess? The 10th. Maybe the 10th. Nice even number, 10th of the 5th. Alright, so we wait patiently. I'll put the links in the description of the information I'm using, and you can have a look yourself. And hopefully little baby Sussex will be with us shortly. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you get notifications of my next video. And give it a big thumbs up as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye.